go.
Look, I just set up my VV.
My man. Hell yeah.
That's
what's up.
You just set it up, and with that, I want to welcome y'all to the motherfucking potluck. I'm excited again. I'm always excited to do this shit with my niggas here. But this week we got some hot topics for you. We got a main dish filled with calories. Kanye West interview. Then you get right to it. I ain't gonna hide it from you. That's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna talk about that. Listen, we got a couple side dishes. Missy, T.I. What's going on with the Travis Scott incident? A couple things we want to get into, definitely. And then obviously, I'd like to tell you all what time it is. It's November in the potluck.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm all reminders because this is your what's November again? What's it mean for us, man?
Hip Hop History Month, baby.
Yeah.
Represent.
Yeah. So for all those old heads, it's the time we can tell y'all how it used to be. When we used to. But it's a good time to look back, and this year has really been about giving people their roses and everything. So it's a great chance for us to kind of talk about hip hop history. Before we get into that, definitely there's a mod right there.
Yes, sir. AKA TKO Joe. You already know. Down with the flow. Let's go. See the bars. Look at that.
This week.
My candy bars right there.
My mom was flexing on y'all. TKO. Hey, my man with the MF Doom salute. RIP MF Doom. My man Lulu. Tell him this.
Yeah, yo. You already know it's your most hated and favorite at the same time. However that happened, it is what it is. I love it. I'm here on your favorite show, your favorite podcast, my favorite podcast. Again, I'm Top 5 Blue, Smooth, Kel, Plain Grain Deco CEO. I wear all them hats, you know what I mean? So shout out to the potluck. Shout out to you for watching, man. Let's get it in, man. Let's go.
Yes, indeed. And last but not least, hold on. This is about to be a first. Michael, tell them who you are, Mike. It's Otis to me, man. So I wonder. I felt like Michael was appropriate for today.
That's one of them. You can call me Michael. You can call me Otis Mac, Mr. Kidder, Mr. Nigga, Mr. My crew stay on point like da-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun, whatever, bro.
Yes, indeed. So look, man, let's dive right into it, man. We won't waste people's time. Hip Hop History Month, man. How they say, Drake said started at the bottom. Now we hear, hip hop, man. We started at the bottom of it. It was something on the streets. It was, they really thought it was going to be like disco music. They really, really thought it was going to be disco. They thought it was going to come. It was going to go. It was going to be a quick fad. Wasn't going to be, wasn't going to last more than a few years. I don't think they understood what hip hop was, what it really was going on, what it meant, with the messaging. But look, now we in clubs, man. You hear it in your car every day, sporting events, people come out to their boxing matches, walkout music, hip hop artists, bringing them out, soundtracks, and soundtracks, man. Yeah. And we'll be honest about it, soundtracks are what boosted hip hop, man. That really helped hip hop out, It was on a different soundtrack. So like disco, dead. Disco been dead for years. Hip hop, despite what Nas said, that we strive and we still going on. And Nas wasn't even really serious with it like that for y'all who read too much into it. Anyway.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We're here because, we all love hip hop. We all really research hip hop. We're part of a group called We Know Hip Hop. So I definitely want to shout them out, anybody who's watching and listening. And I want to shout out anybody on, YouTube, anywhere else out there in the public. That being said, man, I want to get to, my man who's got a unique opinion on rap. Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot, Michael. Damn, Nick. Otis, sticking with Otis. Man, fuck that.
You better drop drop that AEL, man. Just call me Mike, brother. You're making me feel like
man. No, but honestly, so like hip hop history month. What has it meant to you, man? What has it meant to you?
Man, so much, but like more specifically, like hip hop is just the epitome of Black music. So I took the history of rock and roll class, and we've been creating music in genres ever since the fucking 20s. But this right here is the epitome. Like, it's our struggle and our pain in a language that was meant for us to understand. It's not really it didn't start out as a universal thing, and it's still not a universal thing. If you ain't up on the slang, you're kind of behind and you don't know what these motherfuckers are talking about, and like the different styles of hip hop also lend to the idea that Black people aren't monolithic. Like there's so many people that want to see us as only one thing. No, you listen to our music and you're not going to get that. And like, of course, like hip hop is spread more or beyond more than just Black folks. But at the end of the day, these are other races trying to use our style and trying to speak our language and trying to look like us, basically trying to look like us, sound like us, act like us for the money. But some people, that is just who they are. Like, they grew up in hip hop and you can see it in their way of being. And one thing I love the most, man, is like for hip hop to be around as long as it has been, there really only has been one white person that has become a top seller in hip hop. And that's a testament to, how much we've got a stake and a stronghold in this culture, and props to Eminem for achieving that. But like,
go ahead. I ain't gonna say nothing. No, I ain't saying that.
But yeah, bro, like, it's just this is our shit, and that's what I love the most about hip hop. That's what it means to me. Like, this is our shit. It cannot be taken from us. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Lil, what's up? What's it mean to you? What's hip hop meant to you over these years? What's it mean to you?
Me?
Yeah,
man. Shit, I'm gonna tell you this, man. Hip hop means that I have a voice. You know what I mean? Hip hop means that I am accepted somewhere where I feel like maybe I wouldn't be accepted anywhere else, because it's my culture. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of ideas or a lot of things have been given to us through our music. You know what I'm saying? It was a way of exposing us. I grew up in an era where it wasn't on social media. I ain't finna tell you my age though, but I grew up before social media. So I didn't know a lot about worldly things had it not been for me listening to music from different regions. You know what I'm saying? So hip hop definitely was a way for me to see things different, hear different things, ideas, different places. Like we talked about in the last episode, listening to Snoop. I grew up on the East Coast. I'd never been to California. At that time, like, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? You hear the East Coast rap and it's like, well, it doesn't all sound the same. So what hip hop means to me is like, there's always a space for you to gain or express. You know what I mean? Like I said, and it's FUBU, it's for us, by us. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, to your point before earlier when we noticed we're talking, man, and we're talking about Ice Cube, and he was talking about his line about you moved to Riverside. And I said, listen, for an East Coaster, and people who didn't know California, don't know anything about Riverside, California, but when you heard they moved to Riverside, you knew Cube was talking, man, you moved to the suburbs. It didn't matter if you didn't know where Riverside was, just the line in itself and the way it came across, you identified, you knew, okay, Riverside's a suburb. It's it's not a lot of Black people there. And that's where NWA moved because Cube was dissing them. So yeah, just to your point, man, it definitely brings us all together. So let me, even though you won't divulge your age, I'll divulge somebody's older than you, and that's me. And older than me is my man Ahmad.
Oh man.
Just
TKO Joe.
Yeah, man, you got a recollection, man, about when hip hop first kind of came up. When did you really know like you were gonna fall in love with hip hop?
You know what, man? Just listening to it on AM radio. It was a station way at the end, and I would just turn to it, listen to the radio, and I heard like, just something different. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, dang, what is this? You know what I mean? Because my parents weren't playing that. They were playing old music, which I love. You know what I'm saying? Like 60s, 70s music, funk. And my dad likes the Temptations and all that kind of music. He was a little older. But my mom, likes the funk and all that kind of stuff, and you can kind of hear all that in rap. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know, a lot of it was mixed and all that kind of stuff, and so I was like, man, this is different, man. This is something, you know, it could be for me. You know what I mean? Like my identity. You know what I mean? My parents' music, that's their music. It's part of me, but this right here could be mine. So that was it for me, man. That's how I fell in love with it.
I love that.
Man.
I love that, man. So like, Lou, you already mentioned you're a little old. Go ahead, tell us when you fell in love, man. When you fell in love with hip hop. Listen, I feel like we're in a Brown Sugar episode, but it's real talk right now.
Oh man, so one thing I want to say is like I keep falling in love with hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, you're asking me, and within that question is like, man, I can tell you, it's like, you know, it's like you keep messing with something with somebody, you can't let them go. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, like I don't care, you know, how old I'm gonna be, I'm gonna always be listening to hip hop. Obviously, already, you know what I mean? Because I love it. You know what I'm saying? It's so to answer the question is like, man, I can go from probably watching what's the movie Breaking, Turbo and Ozone, you know, Fat Boys, you know, the Fat Boys, you know, even
Disorderlies.
yeah, so even a lot of the oldies, you know, it was just like, yo, this is hip hop. The graffiti, the breaking, all that stuff, you know, and it's like, so I fell in love with that stuff, you know, and then over again when as it progressed and I got older, and then it was, you know, the early 90s, it was Wu-Tang Clan, and then, you know, I call albums classics because I fell in love with them too. Like, so it's been a couple albums that I fell in love with this, you know, so I want to say like early stages was more so like Breaking, Run DMC, you know, yeah, LL, radio, you know. I fell in love with hip hop when I got my radio, pretty much.
Okay. Love that, man. I love that. So I'll tell you, man, I don't know what year it was for me. 85, 86, man. I was in Jersey coming down the turnpike. My mom was driving, obviously, you know, I was 5 or 6 years old, 4 or 5, whatever. And I got a tape. You know, they used to have these little turnstiles, all the little mix, all the little random tapes on it, best of Dolly Parton and all this other stuff, but it was all the stuff that didn't sell. And I got a Kings of Rap tape, man. And that shit had Run DMC, Kings of Rap, Fat Boys, Roxanne, UTFO. I memorized that whole thing back and forth, man. Real talk though, my favorite song on it, no lie, was Rappin' Duke, Daha Daha. So fast forward, when I'm really getting into rap, goddamn Biggie shouts that shit out. And I'm like, yo, Biggie was listening, like, and I knew, I'll tell you, I knew that whole verse, I knew that whole line. Like if it came on right now, I could probably spit it. So that was like, you know, in those years, and then those years in between, I was listening to everything. Like, and Ahmad, to your point, man, we had an AM radio station here. My neighbor used to run it. If you ever seen the movie, Huey Hughes was my neighbor. Kathy Hughes, who's
Wait, sorry, you cut out for a second. Which movie?
Talk to Me.
Okay, yeah. Oh man, that's what I love that movie.
That's my neighbor across the street, and his wife was Kathy Hughes. Dewey Hughes, played by you. His wife was Kathy Hughes, who runs like TV One and all that other stuff, Radio One, TV One. So I used to go to all these events, and 14 p.m. was WOL. That was their radio station in DC. Man. And they used to play nothing but hip hop. They had this dude come on late night, Conan the Barbarian, and he used to spin nothing. I'm talking like Professor X tracks, like everything was on there. And I just remember listening to that and going to all those like WOL rallies. And I look at Kathy Hughes now. I mean, she's like the top of media, you know? So that's really when it was like started for me, like back then. So it's crazy. What's your first memories? You know,
it sounds like you've been around for a while with them memories, man.
Hey man, what's your first memory? You know, that's when I fell in love. That's not my first memory. I have memories before that, but that's
man, first memory. Whew. Yeah. You know what? So I'll let everybody know I was born in 1978. So, you know what I mean? Around 1984 when what's the name came out? Friends by Houdini. and Egypt by Egyptian Lover. So my cousin, older cousin, way older than me. He spent the night. He was spending not a night, but like a week over our house. His other cousin came by. They came through with the car. They had their females with them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, a little kid, so I'm with them and everything. And they're playing that song, man. Playing this tape. It had 2 songs on it. It had Friends and Egyptian Lover, man. And it was like, man, this is cool, man. Like I'm hanging with my older cousin. I'm a little kid, and they and they got females with them. And I'm like, man, this is cool, man. So like Friends, that song Friends. I mean, it was just the melody was cool. It just dope song, you know what I mean? The Egyptian Lover. I mean, Egypt. I mean, the voices just sound funny to me, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, that's my first memory, man. It was just, and after that, it was just Run DMC, and shout out to them for just. I was talking about it today with somebody, just the bridge that they built for hip hop. You know what I mean? Like going into mainstream. So, I mean, that's for another day. But man, that's my first memory, man. Just damn.
I say my first memory was driving a Big Bear, and I think this might have been like the I don't know if it was the first hip hop song I heard, but for sure it was the first hip hop song we had on repeat. It was Young MC's "Bust a Move." Man, it was a long ass trip to Big Bear, bro. Like I can't tell you how many times we listened to that song. And the funny thing is, my dad never went to the B side of it. So when we got to Big Bear, after a couple hours, when we got settled, I wanted, like little kids do, they just can't get enough of shit. So I wanted to listen to it again after a fucking 2-3 hour trip up that motherfucking mountain. But yeah, man. So I flipped on the B side, and it was Young MC's More Rhymes, and that beat, like the beat is just cold as fuck, and the way that he's just the shit that he was spitting on that, like that was my first introduction to metaphors and similes, and he was killing this shit. I'm just like, oh my god, this is different. I love this shit right here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, man. So that weekend, bro, it was just all Young MC, and that was my earliest. That's my earliest memory of hip hop.
The fact that you just shouted out More Rhymes by Young, my heart just went like, I was like, if you know about More Rhymes, like, look, what's your first memory, man? I don't even want to get started on that shit, man. That's like, oh, that takes me to a spot.
Me too, bro.
Bad. So my first memory of hip hop was probably when I was younger. My mother had a little red, like a Chevy Chevette, little hatchback joint.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Remember that?
Had the tape player in it, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And it's funny because I wouldn't necessarily say I had like a memory of a specific song. I think the tape, you know what I mean? Because this was like right after the 8-track era, tapes start coming out. And so I think my earliest memories of like, the tapes unraveling, and you got to like wind them up and stuff like that. I remember like just kind of doing that so the tapes would work, you know what I'm saying, in the car. We had the tape box in between the seats. You know what I'm saying? The pencil, right? I see you with the pencil. Yeah. Remember the tape box? So I remember riding in the car, and in between the seats, it was the tape box.
I remember.
And so I just knew like it was only certain ones, my mom had everything in there from Earth, Wind, and Fire, or, you know what I mean, her cuts in there. And I remember I finally got old enough to like, slide my little tape in there. You know what I'm saying? I might have had my Run DMC in the back, you know what I'm saying? And then like, another, and this is crazy because this was not early hip hop, but the Purple tape. I swear, like, I remember vividly the Purple tape. You know what I mean? Like, so like there was nothing, and then Redman had a red tape. So as we're talking about memories of hip hop, like, I gotta take it back to the tapes where, certain colors of tapes is just let you know, like, oh, this that wood, that chef or that ghost, that Ray, like, that's and then the box of tapes and winding them up and all that. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey. Real quick, Ahmad, we share the same one then. Like I said, we share the same first memory. Because mine was Freaks Come Out at Night. and Freddie.
Oh man.
Freaks come out.
And that,
Hey.
and 5 Minutes of Funk, man. If you don't know 5 Minutes of Funk,
Oh
go look.
man.
That shit's hard. If you
Man.
don't know More Rhymes, go look up More Rhymes. And if you don't got the purple tape, you not listening to hip hop.
Oh man.
That
If
Fabrice
you
come
don't
out
know,
tonight
if
with-
you don't even know what the purple tape is, man, you tripping.
Actually,
Yeah.
come on. If you don't know what the purple tape is, you listen. Nah, we actually about acceptance here. If you don't know what the purple tape is, perfect, man. Tune in to us, subscribe, click like. You know, join. We on YouTube, man. The Potluck. We know hip hop production. If
Yeah.
you go on Facebook and you find a group, we know hip hop. Message one of us. Hop in. You know, if you want to get in discussion, you'll learn something. You know.
Hey, but slap yourself first though. And then do
What's
that. Slap yourself and then do all that.
With the backhand, with the back of your hand too.
Put powder on it too. Put powder on the back of your hand, slap yourself, and then do all he just said.
You got to memorize a verse from there because everybody knows something from that tape. So you got to memorize a verse.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
To come to the table. You got to memorize a verse to come to the table.
Yeah.
Listen, entrance fee. I used to run clubs. You know, these Facebook groups nowadays, they be having, you know, you want to join this group, you got to answer these questions, and sometimes they be some bullshit questions. You got to know these verses. And then, simple, let you into all the secrets, but you got to memorize a couple, put in the work, as we like to say.
Yep.
Right.
Prove yourself first.
Yeah.
Test your might. You know what I mean?
We gonna. I want to talk about, you know, something that's big in the news lately, man. And it's Travis Scott had an incident at his festival down in Houston, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it left a lot of people injured, 8 dead, 9-year-old kid in a coma. It's been online. There's been this kind of debate back and forth, you know, whether Travis should have stopped the show, stopped the concert, if he's responsible, you know, and he's come out and said some things, you know. But, you know, we kind of, for us, I think we look at it as we'll kind of wait. We want to wait before we rush to judgment, but we do want to give our opinions. There's a difference between the judgment and their opinions, you know. So we can give our opinions from what the information we have right now. We definitely want to, you know, send our love, peace, condolences out to any of the victims who lost their lives, who were injured, you know, any of families, anybody affected by this tragedy. You know, it's something that, you know, no one expects. So we definitely want to send our love. So let's just kind of let's get into it. 8 people died, a 9-year-old in a coma, hundreds of people injured, and there's been this, you know, responsibility. I was just kind of open the floor. Does anyone think Travis should take responsibility for it? Full responsibility or after?
Fuck no.
Okay.
I don't either.
Fuck no. I think the people in the crowd have more responsibility to each other than the guy on stage has to them. He's up there to perform. He's up there to rap. How y'all motherfuckers behave down there is on y'all. Like I said, I've seen videos of in crowd videos, and people had no room to breathe. Like once people were in a position, bro, that's how you're stuck. People were just stuck like this, holding their phones, like trying to record some shit. It was stupid, man. And I mean, they had to know. They had to know that people were falling out. But you can hear people crying like, "Oh man, he can't breathe. He can't breathe. We need room. We need room." And just people from the back are just pushing up even more. Bro, there was personal space. There was no such thing as personal space that day. It was fucked up. Like, man, we just got to do better, man. You doing all this to see a nigga rap? The fuck out of here. I love rap more. I love rap just as much as the next man, but I ain't about to, you know, invade somebody's personal space and push one person into another as tight as I can just so I can get close to see a nigga. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, you know, people got to, like you said, they got to take responsibility for themselves. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't blame Travis Scott for people being reckless, you know, in the stands. Like, I know I was talking to somebody today real quick. And I went to a basketball game years ago, and Popovich was, there's the Clippers versus the Spurs, right? And like Popovich, I'm in, you know, yelling distance of him. I'm yelling his name, yelling. And he not one time did he look at me, you know what I'm saying? Because he was focused on coaching a basketball game, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure Travis Scott is up there. He's focused on, you know what I'm saying, his performance, you know what I'm saying? He ain't got time to be like, oh, you know what? something's going on over there. Nah, it's commotion all the time in concerts. People fighting. You know what I'm saying? I've been to plenty of boxing matches. People fighting in the stands. They don't stop the boxing match because somebody's fighting. You know what I'm saying? So, man, to blame Travis Scott, man, we got to get out of here with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wait till everything comes out first. You know what I'm saying? Before I just rest the judgment, man. But definitely peace to the victims. You know what I'm saying? People lost their lives, man. We definitely don't want to see that. So, yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, man. I think to that point too, like, we gotta govern ourselves. People gotta govern themselves
Yeah.
too. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's real sad, it's real tragic, because it's like, man, who thinks that's the last thing you think about going to a concert? Like
Right.
your life being in danger, or you might not come back home. You go there to have fun, it's recreational. It's been COVID, people excited to be out the house, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I did see that he was offering to pay for the funeral expenses of the victims too.
Right.
And for me, that's stand up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the best he could probably do. It's like I never been to Astroworld, but I'm thinking like, if this is a theme park, how are they running out of space? You know what I'm saying? So I don't really get that picture, right? Like if we're in a whole, think about like a parking lot, like think about like a Walmart parking lot, like how wide that is, like how are people running out of space? Why are we crammed up like this? Why are we on top of each other? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just think and I'm definitely not trying to blame nobody, but I feel like the responsibility is not on him. I don't think he should be counseled and all that. Like, it's unfortunate though. It just it kind of happened on his watch. It's unfortunate, you know what I mean? But if you're rocking out and you're doing your thing, man.
Listen,
you got the promoter.
Kanye said cancel. Kanye said cancel everybody. But we could talk about that later. We're gonna get into that part later. Just real quick, I just want, what would you say to someone who says, well, he can see the crowd. He has, other people who have done it before. Where do you think all of this is kind of stemming from? Because, if we keep it there's stuff that's come out lately that's been him saying, hey, she fell down, get her up, y'all stop everything, a couple times. So I don't know what information. I know we're waiting on more to come out, but what do y'all kind of think and feel about people who kind of after that?
Let's say he stops the music. Let's say he stops the show. The most he could do is tell everybody to give people room. And at that point, do you think one man is going to be able to tell thousands of people, hey man, y'all got to back up, y'all got to make room, bro? I've been watching a lot of these battles, bro, on URL, and all of a sudden there's just like an influx of niggas on stage, and they're trying to tell people make room, like give the guys room, give the rappers room. These motherfuckers can't even control 40 niggas on stage, 50 niggas on stage. We saw how hard the Dipset and Locks, how hard how much trouble they had trying to get people off the stage when they were doing their thing. That's just a small amount of people. You mean to tell me that this man is going to be able to control thousands of people that are already crowding each other? No way. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
So
they still gonna try to get in there, like you said, get their shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get their cameras up. They're gonna try to get as close as they can. They don't care if people fall in. Some people don't. I'm not gonna say all people. I'm sure there's people who are helping. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, come on, man.
And here's
no way.
Here's another thing, right? Like, it's not unfamiliar that things happen at concerts. Michael Jackson had people passing out at his shows.
Yep.
Like there are some stars that people just pass out.
White people though.
Yo, I paid $300 for this ticket. I ain't sleeping through no Michael Jackson.
Hell
no. Right? But it get crazy though, right? You have people,
it is.
Being so starstruck or just so amped up or just have so much adrenaline pumping that they pass out.
Right.
You got the mosh pits going on. If somebody gets stumped out in the mosh pit, the performer don't stop.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't.
Mosh pits go on, like people pass out, like people have women throwing their panties on stage at, certain folks, like, stuff happens at the show.
Hey, like them niggas in Seattle throwing fish at each other.
You talking about what was it called? Pike Place? Yeah, I've been there. That's cool.
Right. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, if I was up on stage and there was women throwing their underclothes on stage, what I look like telling you to stop. Hey.
Imagine you rapping, you just, oh yeah.
What?
I mean,
TKO?
you get naked. You know what I mean? If you get naked, you get naked.
Y'all can have these back.
I know, right?
Hey, look.
Oh,
hey,
but it's good. Let me keep these.
Put one around my neck.
Let me ask TKO a real question, real quick. You sniffing them if they're wearing Missy's I Can't Stand the Rain suit and they pull it out from under there after they've been dancing, they throw it at you.
Who, me?
Yeah, that's a whole scenario. That's a whole scenario. I want to know. They smelly. If they're Missy's. You sniffing Missy's underwear?
No, not Missy's. Heck no.
Yeah, I know you were supposed to say yes. He didn't say, he just shook his head.
Please come out of
It probably smelled like summertime in Virginia, bro. Get out of here.
Oh, y'all are crazy.
Oh.
Y'all are crazy.
So look,
Y'all are crazy. Man.
I hate to segue into that, but no, I want to get real serious here, because we do want to talk about Missy and the actual love we have for Missy.
Yes, sir.
So we want to give her a big congrats. In our community, we always push her up here. In the larger world community, she doesn't always get her due for being the phenomenal artist, creator that she is. She's a legend. She's a pioneer for not only women but for in hip hop, man, and for artistry everywhere. So I definitely want to give her respect. She got her star on the Walk of Fame down in LA. She said she had always wanted to do that. I think Lizzo and Sierra presented it to her. But she also shouted out, MC Light, Salt and Pepper, Roxanne Shante. She shouted out a lot of people, a lot of the people that came before her, a lot of people who are her peers. Obviously, Timbaland, as we know, he's a top 5 producer ever. We won't get into the rankings till another episode.
Yeah.
What's your Lulu? What do you feel her impact on hip hop has been?
Man, so I'm gonna say this, like, Missy was probably the first female MC album or tape I purchased. You know what I mean? To be real, like, around Missy, Lil' Kim, but I want to say I probably copped Missy first before I copped Lil' Kim's Hardcore. Only because Missy's videos was crazy. So it's two things with Missy, like her creativity as far as music videos, and then like I think as far as like an MC herself, yeah, I mean, how I feel about Missy is that she definitely held down that flag for female MCs. She definitely kept the torch lit. From Roxanne, MC Light. Missy's definitely in there with that gang too.
For sure.
And then the music videos and her creativity on top it's just what made her. We were just talking about the trash bag, right? Like, So yeah, anytime.
Yeah, I love that.
Anytime you look at a trash bag or a black pair of boots, you might think Missy somewhere eventually. You know what I'm saying?
She had her own absolute ad lib in there too, man. Yeah. Ahmad, what do you think has been Missy's biggest impact or most prolific impact on hip hop?
I would say her versatility, man. Just her, being a dancer, singer. She sang hooks too. Of course, her skills on the mic. Just a pioneer. And then you look at her videos. Like, I would call her like the female version of like Busta Rhymes or like Ludacris. You know what I'm saying? Like, just just versatile and just collabing with different other different artists. You gotta give her props, man. She's meant a lot of hip hop and just the advancement of hip hop and especially for female artists. So props to Missy. Congrats. You know what I'm saying? Getting the star. You know, and it's long overdue. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Listen, I'm a big Virginia guy. You know, I lived in Virginia for a minute, so I got a lot of love for Missy. You know, Otis, I'm gonna leave you last because I want you to really talk about it for you. What do you feel her impact on hip hop is? You know.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I thought I made it pretty clear that I mean, I really didn't want to get into this because I was gonna go into something a lot deeper with Missy. Like I love the hell out of Missy. When those top 20, I'll just keep it short. When those top 25 lists were going around and everybody was pumping Lauryn Hill in a top 25 and not a single motherfucker had Missy, bro, I was pissed. Like really angry. I felt real anger. And that's how much I love Missy, man. Like she doesn't get the credit she deserves. Like I'm glad she got her start, but she deserves a fucking lifetime achievement award and things. Like, man, when it comes to videos, her and Busta Rhymes, they took videos to another level and they came out around the same time. So I can't say who did it first, but I think Busta might have did it first. But yeah, Missy as a female artist, bro, she kills shit, man. And she's not really the greatest lyricist, but she's just got one of those people where her style is just flawless, man. It fits the music, it fits the beat. Production wise, she's fire. You know, she got a hell of a singing voice. She could just do it all, man. When it comes to in terms of hip hop, she's a renaissance woman. You know, I love that woman, man. She's amazing as an artist. And yeah, man, I'm just happy for her. But I really do think that she deserves her own episode because she doesn't get the kudos that she deserves.
Hey man, I'm down. I'm down. Hey, listen.
If you're watching the show, Missy, there's a guy named Otis out here for you. You know.
Hey, on Punk when she was jumping on the case because she thought they took her chain. That's when I was hooked. Like, I see you, Missy.
Because more lately they've been bouncing forth the like Busta Rhymes versus Missy and like they're Busta did the intro for Missy's first album, right?
Yeah, and he did interludes on a couple more of her albums too.
Yeah. But that was like, you get a Southern rapper, a Southern female MC, and you got a New York, leaders of the new school, I won't call them backpack, but one of those MC signing off for you. I mean, that's it all you need to know.
Hey, I know that this really ain't the time or the place, but we had a debate in the group about whether the DMV was the South or Virginia specifically, I mean. And cats weren't calling it Southern. So the fact that you come from that area and you're calling Virginia South, all y'all we know hip hop niggas to shut the fuck up now.
Hey, shit, I was trying to remember in the group if I said it wasn't the South too. I think the argument was like nuanced into them calling it Southern music specifically. And I was like, no, the music that's coming out is way more than Southern music. I think that was my only goal. Virginia's the South.
Yeah. Listen,
if you ever been by Poe White Parkway in Richmond, Virginia's the South. ITE, look it up. If you've ever been by White's rest stop at 1 a.m. when you've been driving all night in a BMW back from Arizona, and you try to pull up to White's rest stop, and it's like White's only. Yeah, you didn't think the name. It's not Mr. White that owns it. It was not. Like I'll go down the road to piss. You will remember that Virginia is the fucking South. Anyway, but that like really that Southern influence really came through in her music, Timberland and everything, man. And that being said, Sock It To Me, Make It Hot, Nicole Ray, and Pass That Dutch. Those are my top 3 Missy songs for me personally. I had to cut out a couple. Let me give honorable mention for all y'all, because I just heard that the other day just randomly on my mix. Those are my top 3 with one honorable mention. I cheat. I always cheat. Y'all know that by now.
Yeah, pretty much.
What are y'all top 3 from Missy?
Give me Can't Stand the Rain, the breakout hit. Give me Work It. you know, and give me Can't Stand the Rain, Work It.
Ooh, go in your bag. Go.
It's a lot of them though. I mean, I was like, damn,
A lot.
Like, man, 3.
Give me something that you personally really love that other people might not know. Just give me one. Go in your bag.
Hot Boy. Yeah.
The remix.
Yeah, of course. With Nas. Of course.
That almost made my cut too.
Hey man, I was living in Miami when that came out. That made the first CD I ever burnt.
Hey, you took mine, man.
Don't get me wrong. I like Get Your Freak On, but if you got Work It, Get Your Freak On and Work It, I mean, it kind of, those are similar. Yeah. And I think I'll take Work It over Get Your Freak On.
That Hot Boys remix when Nas comes in is so hard, man. Oh my gosh. That's definitely my number one. Because I'm a Nas fan, you know what I mean? But he just comes in so hard on that song. But I'm gonna go Hot Boys remix. I'm gonna go. I don't know why it's called Not Tonight when it's really Ladies Night. I have no idea why it's called that. I mean, that's a Lil Kim song, but
it was the remix to Lil Kim's song.
Okay, but I mean, yeah, it's just weird. But they should just call it Ladies Night though. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm confused. Why did they call it Not Tonight? You know what I mean?
That's so funny. I was listening. My bad to cut you off. I was listening to that joint yesterday in the middle of like a 90s, early 2000s playlist. Mm-hmm. That shit, I was listening to it yesterday. Like, yeah, man, it's fire. But
yeah, that's a dope ass song, man. And you know what? and it's crazy because like how we talk about Missy, her versatility. Like she even talks about that in the song. She's like, who you think I am, Patti LaBelle or something? You're just gonna be using me to sing the hooks. You know what I'm saying? And she starts rapping, you know what I mean? But like, she's showing her versatility because she's doing the hooks in the song too. But that's a dope ass song, man. All the ladies, they all went hard. And even what's her name? Angie Martinez. She's a radio person, right?
Yeah.
She went hard on that song too. You know what I'm saying?
Angie had a hit single.
And the Brat killed that song. You know what I'm saying? But so that's my second favorite. It's so hard, man. The third one, you know what? I'm gonna go 1 Minute Man. And I'm trying to think.
Okay.
I'm trying to think Ludacris one or Jay-Z, because I like both.
You motherfucker.
I think I'm gonna go Ludacris one though.
Man, we used to play both in the DMV.
They both hard. I mean, you can't go wrong with either one. I'm gonna shout out Ludacris though. I'm gonna go Ludacris on that one. So, but I'm gonna go 1 Minute Man for my third. Yeah, those are my top three.
Yeah, that's.
I took yours, Otis.
Yeah, man. Next time I'm going first. Fuck y'all. But so you got to go with The Rain. Like that song is just still a classic to this day. Out of all the old songs I listened to in my childhood, I still don't skip that one. That one got to play through every time. And I got it written down, bro. 1 Minute Man, both versions. I got to cheat on that one. Let's just go back to the Napster days where somebody mixed the Luda and the Jay-Z verse and turned it into one song.
And we were playing that in the club. And they played that in the clubs in DC. The whole Jay-Z start, Luda ended.
Yeah, you got to do it. That shit is fire. And because just to showcase her versatility, Friendly Skies, the one with Genuine off of her first album, bro. That's such a smooth ass R&B song. Love that joint. And as my last little toss in to break the rules, so I can be like y'all niggas, up jumps the boogie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
Magoo.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah,
that's hard.
That song is stupid, bro.
Man.
Hey, since it's a topic, I gotta ask. Just weigh in real quick. You fuck with Magoo, yes or no? I do.
You also fuck with Fetty Wap, so
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Oh, man.
you're a very generous fan.
You might be.
I'm a discerning.
Yourself, buddy. Oh yeah.
No.
I'm cool on the Magoo.
So look, check it out. I listened to Timbaland and Magoo so much when I was younger. Like I do know some verses, but it's not. I'm not singing to enjoy that shit. It's almost like when you hear a song on the radio or you at work in retail and you hear this song every single day of your life and you just know the words to some shit that you don't want to know the words to. That's how I feel about Magoo's verses. And man, the dude had potential. I don't know what it was about him though, man. He just wasn't it. Like Silk the Shocker, Memphis Bleak, Magoo, all in the same class.
You know I'm so mad right now. Why do that to me? Look,
I know I got two of your favorites, but I'm just saying though, like there's something there to those guys where it could be likable, but they're just not.
He sounded like Stephen Miller to me.
leave Silk out of this. Hey, listen, CK, you know what? I'm not. Look.
Shots fired.
Hey, Joe Maginiano, my name is. And girls that come. I know what the hell that nigga said, but it sounds funny.
I can't. I had a video recorder, so I had video of y'all dancing to it. Cause y'all know y'all was rapping to it, y'all was dancing. Y'all know y'all like Magoo.
Oh shit! This nigga said Steven. Sorry, man. If Lemon Heads could talk, that would be Stephen Miller's voice.
Whole game out here.
Yo, man, y'all are fooling, man.
Oh man, sorry, man.
We ain't sorry. No, none of y'all lied. We ain't. Well, you apologize.
Fuck no, I ain't sorry.
I'm not sorry. I'm kidding.
You ain't gotta apologize to nobody. You can apologize to me.
Sorry.
Me, another nigga, but you ain't gotta apologize to him because they ain't on here. But
Oh shit.
let's get. I want to get to this next topic real quick because it's an important one to me. One of my favorite rappers, one of my personal favorites, out of the ATL, T.I.
ASAP.
Yeah, so look, he's going to get property ASAP. He's buying them up. He is expeditiously building up a great lake. Down in this area. Look at T.I., man. Oh, my Lord.
That's one of them. I'm gonna tell my kids this was T.I.
Oh, that's not T.I., my bad. Damn.
Oh, God.
Hey, you made me spit out my drink, man.
Why you have to tip like that, man?
Oh man.
Nothing to do with this. Look,
Whoa, man.
man. Hey, y'all. But look, see, I wasn't even ready, man. I wasn't ready. I seen it earlier, but I wasn't ready.
That photo is undeniably the incorrect identity of said rapper.
That the melatonin does not even match the melatonin of my complexion.
I don't even know who that guy is. That's terrible. Like, that's terrible. Who is that guy right there? Like,
He's not ubiquitous.
I almost thought it was Seth Curry, not Steph. Seth.
Look,
The leftover curry.
man. Sorry, Otis, you gotta defend light skins. The slander on here is real. Oh, Otis is the right part of it. He's like, nope, absolutely not.
I'm gonna act like I didn't even hear it.
But I see Pete got his hat cocked, bankhead style, right?
I'm about to go back in. I'm about to go back in and try to read this again. Because I looked up, I fell out. I couldn't read. I couldn't even read. I fell out once that picture came up. Lord. All right, y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
We about to just cut. I'm about to cut in like this. So I definitely want to give Missy her respect. That being said, Want to go on to a topic of T.I. is buying up the block, and he's creating affordable housing. He's expeditiously building up a great legacy and some affordable homes for some folk down in the A. And it's
Sir.
and since a lot of people aren't doing this, we can't really say that it's ubiquitous. Making melodic, mellifluous music for years, and now he's helping out people that are in financial quagmires. You know what I'm saying? So that's all that is. T.I. is building a affordable housing down in the A.
ASAP.
Yes,
I was about to try to do my best T.I. on, but I couldn't. You know, I've spent some time in the A. But you know, we just want to kind of touch on that. You know, definitely give props out to that. I just want to say a quick word of what y'all think about building back the community with their wealth.
I mean, I might have seen him in the street, but homie, you don't know me. You know what I mean? So that's, you know what I'm saying? I definitely don't know that side of him. You know, I think this is a good look for T.I. He's had his trials and tribulations, and he's been, you know, ostracized and imprisoned, right? But I think, you know, the biggest thing you could do is a philanthropic effort, right? You know, when you got money, you know, obviously invest it back in your community, change people's lives, you know, make things different for, you know, others from where you came from. So I definitely respect this move. You know, whether it's just another project building or it's actual condos, you know, as long as he's legit and he's sincere about, you know, his conquest or his goals here, I'm down for it. I respect it. I like it.
He's talking about greenhouses and making it all-in-one encompassing, you know, kind of living space.
Yes, sir.
So I was always aware of T.I. being a purveyor of real estate and construction and whatnot. I appreciate that. It's nice to hear him doing something like this. The only thing is, I hope that he's passing down, like when he says he's making affordable housing, you know, I hope it's not like a rent situation. I hope he's I'm sorry if I didn't read the article thoroughly. I just took a quick glance at it, but if he's selling this at an affordable price, major props in a huge way, you know. But if he's just doing this to rent it out so he can have superfluous funds to spend on hookers and whatnot and keep bitches in his basement, I don't know about that. But I hope he's doing it the right way, brother. That's all I gotta say. That ain't what we talk about. We talking about this man, you know, helping expand people's financialities. I know that ain't a word, but I'm a T.I. the hell out of it.
That's your business, right? You know what I'm saying?
You know,
the good book says,
like I said,
Rome is undefiled.
Well, yeah, like I said, bro, I just hope he's doing it to sell to people at an affordable price instead of just renting and becoming a landlord of cheap housing.
Fair enough. And full disclosure, I think in the articles, well, I think from what I was reading, he bought the property and then technically sold it to the construction company to build, but somehow he still oversees it. I don't know how that works out. I'm not into that stuff yet, you know, hopefully down the line. But, you know, so I think he bought it and then he sold it to the development company. And then so he, by acquiring and accruing more, you know, acronyms, T.I., you know, should be making some money.
Yeah.
I think he's winning, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I don't know for a fact, but they're trying to be upscale luxury condos.
Right on.
Hey,
whatever, man. Props to his business acumen.
You know, that being said, he, you know, when I watched a couple videos of him talking about it, he was talking about building, you know, back the community. And somebody more recently in our main topic, you know, we want to get into Kanye West in his interview, and he was talking about building communities, not building back any community, but building a new community, sustainable. He talked about a lot of things in this interview on Drink Champs, and, you know, we definitely want to, you know, when Kanye is being interviewed, you're going to get some hot takes, you're going to get some information, you're going to get some rants, sound bites. you're gonna get viral moments, you know, like Ye smoking the blunt when he hit the blunt, you know,
Yeah.
shot, you know, and you're gonna get a lot of quotables. And he didn't disappoint. Drink Champs is, you know, for what we can honestly say they're the pinnacle of hip hop podcasting, you know, if you will. Gilly, you know, shout out Gilly, Smoke Champs, Scott, shout out, you know, all them. But Drink Champs is that, you know, and so Kanye went on there to just kind of talk about a lot of different things. So let's get this out the way. What's your kind of favorite quote from the interview? Because there was a lot in there, but you know, before we get too far deep in there, what's your favorite quote? Your favorite quote or moment? You know, Lou, what's yours? Quote or moment from this Kanye interview?
Man, I got a couple, like you said, but you know, I like when he was talking about this kind of feud between him and Certified Lover Boy. You know, he was saying like, you know, yeah, it is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, ain't nobody really about to do nothing. But it pissed him off to hear Drake threatening his life on his songs. You know what I'm saying? You know, because he was like, it's too many people depend on our existence for people to even eat, first of all. So, you know, like it is what it is. It's all cool. But when you on a song kind of like threatening my life low key, now you taking a little too far, you know what I mean? And also like how he was airing out, like, man, you know, he talked about how John Legend, you know, I didn't know he had this disdain for John Legend. I didn't even know that, you know, and Talib Kweli, like he was roasting him. Like I was like, what? Yo, you like these guys are signed on to you, bro. Like, you know, but I mean, it just goes to show what he was saying. It's like, man, nobody likes, you know, being felt like they've been betrayed. You know what I'm saying? And I did like how he was saying him and Jay, they had their differences, but that's okay. Like I said, he do some Ye shit, he do some Jay shit, nobody say shit. So that was the quote, you know what I'm saying? So like where he's able to mend things with Jay, you know, it's like, man, with the John Legend thing, he's like, man, you know, you got up here and pretty much was bad mouthing me, like, you know what I mean, on public TV, you know, and you know, I just think that was real candid. I thought out of the interview, those things he was speaking on was real. That's how he really felt, you know. So, yeah, he definitely he was killing Tyler Kweli, man. I didn't.
Talib just performed out here across the street from my part-time.
Did he have a hat on?
I don't know, man, but it was a crowd. He had a whole crowd. There was a crowd of people.
How many backpacks were in that crowd?
And remember, at this point in time, the people that were backpacking, they're not backpacking no more. They was kind of, they had all the attire to have the backpack on, but they didn't have a backpack. You know, they had a big ass wallet like this thick in the back pocket.
It's a bunch of
Attica special. I feel it.
I mean, listen,
probably, you know, slip on shea butter and smell like Egyptian musk, man.
I'll be honest with you.
Hey, don't shit on the shea butter.
And if I keep it funky, and this ain't no shot at nobody, there's a lot. Actually, that's the most lugs I've ever seen come in my store. I'm not coming. I took no shots. There was a lot of lugs. There was like 8 people that came in lugs loafers.
Yo.
You said lugs.
Oh,
I had a pair of lugs wallabies. I had some wallabies back in the day. Some wallies, some lugs.
I did too.
I wanted the Birdmans for a little bit. I ain't gonna lie either. I tried to get them, but we didn't have them.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So look.
I know, man. I think if Nori would have asked me Common or Kweli, I would have been like Common for sure. So
hell yeah, easy pick.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that pick. You think he went a little too far? Do you think he went? Maybe he went in a little too much.
Hey, like I said, go ahead, Lulu.
I don't think so. I mean, say how you feel, like, because honestly, I don't listen to Kweli no more. I mean, like, you know what I mean? And some of the things he said was kind of reasons why, like, you know, like, All right, Quali. He kind of keeps he Quali is kind of like he's becoming a dinosaur. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His music isn't progressing, you know.
No, not at all. Like, and that's one thing I why I put Common over Quality. Like, you got like Water for Chocolate, Resurrection. What was the brown one? One Day It'll All Make Sense, I think it was.
Find It Forever. Or was it?
No. It was one of his older ones, Find It Forever too. And then Electric Circus. Like, Common has such a wide variety of sound. Like, this dude has been pushing limits, and it's been like he has more hits than misses, you know. But Quali is just like, yeah, this is my pocket. I ain't going anywhere, you know. And he kind of peaked at Reflection Eternal, nigga. That was 20 something. That was about 20 years ago, you know. Like, nigga, what you doing since then?
Quality wasn't bad.
It wasn't good.
Wasn't. I don't think it was good either. I thought what's the name was better. I can't even think of it. Eardrum.
Yeah, Eardrum wasn't bad.
Eardrum was better, but
yeah.
I mean, it was a little different. You know what I mean? But yeah, he still hasn't, like you said, he hasn't progressed. I mean,
let me be honest with you. Let me find out y'all a bunch of backpackers, because I identified with Kanye when he was like, listen, let me keep it real. I was listening to Cash Money. Like, I just did that to kind of be, you know, I did that to give up a couple patchouli sisters. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like, I feel him. I was listening to Cash Money. Even smart as you may be, listening to a lot of the backpack loses its kind of like, I think it loses its momentum after a while.
There's still some gems, like, bro, that Black Star album, that ain't going nowhere. That shit's gonna stay in rotation. Dope. You know, that album is fire as fuck. And Reflection Eternal gets played every like 1 or 2 years or so. But yeah, man, it's different, because when you only have 2 albums that I really, really want to go out of my way to listen to, when this other artist has 5 or 6 that I could cycle through, it's clear. Yeah, man, like, fuck your feelings. You know, Common's better.
It is what it is. And one of those albums that you name is half of it's Most Def. You know what I'm saying?
And that really what is what drives the Black Star album.
And Common's on that one too.
Ask everyone here. I still want to find out.
Probably the best song on there. Common's on that one.
So I think we all kind of agree Ye wasn't telling a lie. So in the overall interview, for me, what was your kind of takeaway? How do you feel about him? You know, I still don't hear your favorite kind of moments, but in what we're talking about with Talib and saying that, like, well, that's not crazy to say. It's not like that's off good. How do you kind of feel? Do you feel the whole interview was kind of like that for him? Or do you feel like it was just bits and pieces?
I feel like a lot of... Go ahead, Ahmad.
Good.
Oh no, for me, I mean, I just like how he talked about you know, the whole house thing, the house situation.
That was my quote.
And like and then even like, you know, just the black vote, you know what I'm saying? Just how, like, you know, they pigeonhole people, you know what I'm saying? Basically, like, you know what I'm saying, you know the whole American dream, you buy a home, blah blah, this and that, and you're set, right? But I mean, it's not all what it's cracked up to be. I own a home. It's not, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love owning a home, but it's not what it's cracked up to be. You still got to do maintenance on it. You know what I'm saying? It's not, you're in charge of your own stuff, and you gotta do all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like he said, keeping tabs on you, the whole black vote, the fact that Joe Biden was able to say, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. You know what I'm saying? It's just wild, man, how people, you know what I'm saying, like, are caught up in this, and, you know what I'm saying, like, have accepted, like, you know, this fate, you know, so to speak, you know what I mean? And I love how he spoke on that, and just saying, like, you know, like, basically, like, I'm free to roam, you know what I'm saying? My home is what? When I'm FaceTiming my daughter. That's what he said. Yeah. He said, my house is like, he said his house is his backpack or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I just bought a new house. He said, you know what I mean? But they like, I mean, that was cool, man.
Otis was saying that was his quote. Right?
No, my quote was the how about we start owning some stock or some land? What do we own? Braids? Like, that was my shit. Like, so I appreciate him talking about encouraging people to live the nomadic lifestyle, but he also acknowledged that it's kind of a trust fund thing and it's something that rich people can do. And it's funny because I had a conversation with a homie in real estate, and like anything that relates to housing, this nigga just goes full capitalist. And this will lead me to my next point. Kanye was basically like the main thing I got away from him talking about living a nomad lifestyle was how he treated his relationships. He put his focus in building relationships and kind of living a life of service in a way to where he said, like, my money isn't good anywhere. Like, that's where I want to be. I want to be to a point to where I can call on somebody and I can have all these resources available to me at no cost whatsoever. And that's a good way to look at life. That's kind of how we're supposed to be doing life, bro. Like, put your effort into your relationships. You know, like stop putting money first, put people first, and then that shit will come to you. It's easy to say when you already got it like that, but we don't know what he did to get to this point. And what my biggest thing is in between that, for him to turn around and say that we need to start owning shit, like, yeah, we really do. And props to T.I. for buying the block, but you know, get that shit back, help people attain their own ownership in a way. But ultimately, bro, I don't think people are ready to hear or understand a lot of the shit that Kanye was talking about. Like, I think you might have to take some psychedelics and do some fucking yoga, do some deprivation chambers and some sound baths and all that shit to get to that level, because he is really speaking on a very different way of looking at things. It's kind of spiritual, it's kind of metaphysical, and I really love that part of it. And people are just so grounded in a capitalist society that they're not ready to hear that shit.
So when I come in LA, y'all got me right. Like, I'm not buying a hotel room. Like, you know, when y'all gonna let me ride y'all whip? Like, you know what I'm saying? Right.
Hey,
like,
I got an electric couch. It folds out like we like my daughter's got all the rooms taken up, bro. But the couch is comfortable as fuck.
Hey, you know, I got you. Look, I've been living, you know, to your point. I think part of the reason it resonated with me, Otis, that point, well, a lot of it, we can talk about my love for Kanye later. For a decade plus, I kind of like lived like that. When I traveled, I didn't get a hotel room. I stayed with friends. They didn't, you know, I didn't worry about much. They knew if they came to see me, they didn't have to worry about food, drinks, a place to live. You know, like they had it. They had my card they could use, and that's kind of the currency. You know, especially I was coming from the restaurant industry, and then that you could bop to restaurant, and you get free food, free drinks, and just kind of live. Oh, you're so and so with so and so, cool, or the clubs and everything. So that resonated with me on a big level. You know, Lou, I didn't get a chance to. What do you think about the whole interview as a whole?
I thought the interview was great. I thought it was right on time, actually. I feel like it's something I might skim through again, and I feel like it's probably one of Drink Champ's highest viewed. Probably the best one besides Master P. But I mean, we're talking about Ye. You know, there was so many name drops. If you know, they had the name drops. You know what I'm saying? Just to hear him be like, "Oh, I was at the Ralph Lauren with Oprah and Stephen King. We're eating dinner." You know,
Steven
like
Spielberg. And he
yeah,
was like, oh, and Hillary Clinton. That was the only time I was with her.
Yeah.
That was slick. Dude.
Let me just add this into your point. Hey, Jen, I don't want to interrupt you, but I gotta say this. And to watch him, you know, if you're in the artistry and all this, to watch be like, hey, make sure y'all have clips, a ticker at each one, at each name drop. There's gonna be a lot of it. Make sure y'all get this graphic up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Another thing I noticed was like he had somebody pouring him up. He didn't touch that stuff. And every time he was like shot, somebody came and poured a shot for him. Like, I'm like, dog, that's like, man, what? Boss, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never seen nobody come on Drink Champs do that neither. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know,
that's crazy.
And I don't know. I just thought it was great because Nori being Nori, some of the stuff was over Nori's head. You know, Kanye is a visionary, you know, and a philosopher. Like he was like, you know, any guy that's like, oh, my peers are Walt Disney and you know, Elon Musk, like those are my peers. Like, man, like, you know, it's crazy to, you know, it's crazy, man. Like, it's like we all kind of gain this gathered perspective about Ye. But when we got the interview and he opened up, we was like, oh, so maybe he's not as crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. That's
All right.
tough.
I mean, the nigga's still crazy, but there's a little bit of genius tied in there. And when it would, but
Isn't there
when
always?
it,
The haircut, though.
yeah,
Nah, the haircut. Nah.
that shit wild.
Hey, look, and if in 10 years from now everybody's doing that, we can come back to this moment and be like, "Why we love this nigga, yay?" Like,
It won't be me.
Hey, when you see patches in my dreadlocks, bro, you can come and steal on me. I'm just gonna let you have it.
Oh man. So I want to kind of, y'all know how, like I said, for me, Pac is my GOAT. Ye is my, like, I don't know, Pac is God and Ye is Jesus or something. I like, just because I understand a lot of what he's talking about, you know, on some very real and deep shit, economically, freedom wise, mindset wise, even when he's talking about programming, and like, I understand if people don't get it, but what he's making a point, you know, to teach certain things. Like Otis said, man, I don't think it'll come till later on. But I think my main thing with Ye, that I want to get into hip hop though, and he, you know, there was points where he was talking rap, but if you notice and you watch, that man's a historian. He remembers everybody's bars. He could pull out lines from years ago and just put them on point. He put out "Oh No" from Nori at the perfect time. Like, how many people know "Oh No" that song?
Yeah.
Nori Classics joint. But like, you have to know hip hop, and you know it just pops in his head at the right time to do it. So I kind of want to talk about, like I said, we could talk about the politics too. That's a whole episode. How'd y'all feel about him as a, you know, hip hop, in terms of hip hop? I know he was talking about bad on Talib, you know, but for him and his mind of hip hop, being able to pull out lyrics, being able to break down, show respect for Lil Baby, and push the music forward. What y'all feel about, like, what he was talking about in the interview?
No, I mean, you know, I definitely respect it. I mean, I feel like you said, he's, you know, historian, and he, you know, like, you know, not only knows his music, but just also knows, like, you know how to just, you know, put it all together, man. And like he talked about he talked about if we had a verses, you know, he would need 4 people versus him, or he would do the old Ye versus the new Ye, you know, that kind of stuff. And I mean, you know, you definitely gotta you know, just give him props on, like, you know, his knowledge, you know, of music, you know, hip hop, you know, and just music in general. I mean, you know, a lot of stuff that he's done, like with, you know, like collabing, and, you know, mixing old stuff, you know, like you know, I mean, even like other genres like techno, or other, you know, genres of music like techno and, like, you know, rock, and just, you know, 80s music, just bringing it all together and put it in his you know, his repertoire, man. I mean, you gotta respect that, man. And yeah, man.
Yo, this dude really does know his shit. I can't remember what song it was. It was on the the Yeezus album, and it kind of like he I think it might have been New Slaves, and then it breaks into this like song where it sounds like it has bagpipes and shit, where he's like, I can't lose and I can't lose. I can't. So check it out, bro. I used to work with this Hungarian cat, and we were listening to the Yeezus album, and that shit came on, and he was like, wait, what's happening right now? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, I know this song. This is a Hungarian song. Bro, that blew my mind. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Right.
he's over here throwing Hungarian music, Hungarian rock into his shit. Like, when it comes to music, this guy knows his stuff. He's
Yeah,
very well
he
versed.
does, man. You could just tell by the interview, just stuff he was saying, man. And, you know, he knows, you know, like you said, you know, to pop out the whole, you know, Nori joint, you know, out of nowhere. I mean, you know, just on, you know, right timing. I mean,
he named his daughter Nori. So let me ask. Actually, Lulu, I want to ask you first, and then I go to see if you want to answer. So when he was talking, and he's talking hip hop and the evolution and everything, and he started talking about professional rap, and how now this is professional rap. Y'all remember? And he was saying, listen, now it's you talk about these people in your bars. You know, you hit a line in there that 3 of y'all know. Not only it's only you, I hear the line, I know what's up, what he's saying. My wife knows what he's saying, and one other person maybe. is professional rap is that deep like the NBA now. Like, did y'all really kind of grasp what he was talking about there? You know, it's no longer just like side subliminal beef.
So
Missed that
that's a
one.
good question because, you know, for him to say something like professional rap, I guess I never thought about it being in tears in that instance, in that, you know, example. So I want to say like professional rap is, you know, when you're seasoned, when you're able to, when you have mastered your craft and your flow and you are in your lane. That's professional rap to me. You know what I mean? Like how he was saying, you know what you're saying. If everybody else don't know what you're saying and they miss it, then that could kind of be on you because you're the professional. Whereas in any other rap, if you miss it, then that's just it's over your head, right? So I think that once you have mastered what you are doing, everybody can catch it, whether they're not in the loop or whatever, right? And I also look at professional rap as rap when you're talking about your career, you have more mature content. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, you can listen to like, I love West Side Gun. I do. I listened to him yesterday. I listen to him a lot, you know? But I think, you know,
yeah, we know.
But don't just listen to him, boy. You're looking like him too over here now. Show up in full West Side uniform too.
And but where was I going? So like a lot of times, like right. So a lot of times West Side Gun has a lot of metaphors that's specific to drugs or, you know, fashion brands. You know what I'm saying? But when you're a professional rapper, it's like, man, you know, you have a way of saying things that make people be like, man, I need to check that out. You know what I'm saying? So for instance, West Side Gunner says, I got all red frames on looking like Sally Jesse Raphael. And it's like, oh, that was dope, right? Like, but then you might pull up like, oh, Sally Jesse does wear red frames. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool, you know. But then you got what we call this like mumble rap that's not professional. It's kind of, you know, it raps that aren't clean, or the rhyme scheme, or the way that you're laying your bars together, the way that you're structuring your songs, that's more professional. When people are paying you 100,000 a verse, that's professional. You know, Jay-Z, you know, like that's professional. You know what I'm saying? So, I just think this is another level of putting your rhymes together and song structure when you talk about professional rap.
I only disagree with you on this. I think that the professional rap thing kind of went to you can start taking shots at people personally. And that's what he was getting at in their stature in the rap community. You know, if I take a shot at Kanye, I can jump him in sales. I think that's what he was getting at. For me, that's what.
I mean, and so to your point, I thought of that as being competitive. So okay, so because he did say I'm at this level in the game, I'm just old and I'm still competing. Okay, yeah.
Okay, sure.
Hey, when he said Drake doesn't battle, Drake goes to war, like that. Like he'll move down the block from you just so he can throw in the bar like I crept down the block, made it right. So that shit will hit. Like, yeah, okay, I get that. I get what you mean now. But yeah, and that was very interesting. But I also think that is, I don't know, man. I don't like that part of rap because rap has always been for the people. And then that almost sounds like that part of it, that style of getting at another rapper is more an elitist type of thing, like only people in the know. And so, okay, so let me find a better way to put that, because there's always those low key bars that people don't really know about. But it seems like
Jay-Z been doing them for years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's just flat out true, bro. I guess it just is true. Like, you know, some people are going to know, some people aren't. And I don't know what the point of that. Like, if you're really not going to do anything, like Styles P said, y'all ain't going to do shit to each other. So what's the point of cutting that deep if you ain't going to do nothing?
Do you think that's why he kind of in this interview was like, fuck it, here I am, I'm putting it on. Let's not, because he says in the interview, throughout the interview, let's communicate, let's put it on the table. Stop all the back channeling whispering. He talks about that a lot in life in general, but also in rap. Do you think that's kind of why like the fact that he kind of was like, look, let's put it all on the table, what it is?
Possibly so. And if that was the case, like, you know, it's always the smartest move. And here's the thing, man, like the fact that he said Drake battles like that, it's probably why, you know, Drake's disses don't really hit. Like he hit Meek Mill with the back-to-back, and he hit Meek Mill with some shit that we all understood. But as for any other kind of disses, I'm pretty sure Drake is taking shots at a lot of people, and it just hasn't resonated, probably for that very reason. And I like Kanye's approach to it. And at the end of the day, he did say, you know, I ain't got no problem with Drake. I love Drake, you know, and
Yeah.
it almost seems like he's willing to bury the hatchet and just say, like, let's end this shit. Let's kill this shit, because it's kind of pointless.
Hey, look, I want to TKO. I want to hear what you thought about the whole interview, because I know he probably hit a bunch of stuff for you. So just give us your overall, you know, how do you feel about Ye? How do you feel about him after that interview?
For me, you know what? I mean, I think I gained a whole lot of respect for Ye, because for a while I was kind of like, you know, just, you know, annoyed by Kanye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think just after watching this, I mean, just him, you know, willing to, you know, be different. You know, because I mean, you know, I mean, we of course we call him crazy now, right? You know, a lot of people do. You know what I mean? And I think there's some freedom in being crazy, you know, or being different or being weird or whatever. You know what I mean? There's some freedom in that, knowing, okay, I can be myself. 'Cause I think at the end of the day, we're all kind of weird. You know what I mean? But I think we do
Yeah.
like yeah, I am too. You know what I'm saying? Like I have, you know, like but I think we hide it so much to fit in. You know what I mean? Because we don't want to, you know, be looked upon as that. But you know, I think, you know, him, you know, being in the position that he is, and taking this approach, I think is, you know, I mean, it's very commendable. You know what I mean? Taking the word from Ti, and you know, it's definitely something. Um, you know, I mean, I gained respect, more respect for him after listening to this interview. You know what I mean? And then even with his latest album, the whole Donda thing, tribute to his mom. Uh, Very versatile. The album, and then along with his interview, man, it was just, I think, I definitely have to say that I've gained respect for him. So
Yeah. I'm gonna be the first to say right now and just say I've always been rocking Kanye. So let me stand up on mine right now. So I was very happy after the interview. So for y'all that kind of fell back, man, he treat y'all like Common and John Legend. Get to the back of the bus. It was
No way.
a good interview, man. It was really good. I thought he really, he there ain't no old Kanye. It was a old Kanye in a sense of music, but it's the same Kanye. I was listening to College Dropout today. Same messaging, different style.
Yeah. Well, that whole spill when he was like Big Sean, oh man. Like I'm like, man, like Big Sean
Bro,
made some decent music, but then when he was like, it's just that he felt like, Big Sean betrayed him, or he kind of, turned his back on him. But I'm like, dog, to be like, RIP, my tombstone should say, I deserve to be here because I signed Big Sean.
Yo, that was funny as hell. He killed me when he was like, man, when I'm walking through the airport, I want people reciting my lines and shit. And he's like, when your first single was ass. Like when you walk through the airport, people gonna be like ass, 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 ass. That shit had me weak. Like, damn, I didn't even think about it that way. You know what? I do think Big Sean was a good sign. It's just something about Big Sean that it takes his appeal away. And I've always explained my point of view. He puts the inflections on the wrong words, and it comes off kind of corny. Like Big Sean has bars, but he doesn't have the delivery. Like, I tell a bad bitch, do whatever I say. My block behind me like I'm coming out the driveway. Like, that's a dope ass bar, but it's just the way he said it just kind of takes the power out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My block behind me like I'm coming out the driveway. Like, imagine if a nigga said that with attitude and shit. Like, you heard that on the stage at the battle rap. It's like, oh, nigga, that's fire right there.
Right,
you know. But when Big Sean say it, it's the way he says it. So I kind of get why Kanye regrets signing him, because the guy just doesn't know. He doesn't do his own he doesn't do his own bars justice. But that shit was funny as hell, man. He roasted the shit out of Big Sean and Talib.
Yeah, he did. Man. That was that Talib and the Big Sean thing, you know. Yeah, man. That he was like I said, after the interview, you kind of pay more attention, like you want to pay more attention on him. Maybe he's not as of his rocker, like, you know, kind of brings you back in a little bit. And,
Yeah.
especially when he was talking about you know, the him and Kim situation, you know, that's a big thing. You know, I'm not really into the celebrity gossip like that. I really don't care, you know what I mean? But, you know, he was like, they say we're getting divorced. I haven't seen any papers. You know, it's like, wow.
He said she went on SNL and said that shit. Like he had bars about SNL before, so it's kind of fucked up if that's true that, you know, they put her on SNL and said that shit.
Right.
He like, I haven't seen any papers though. He supposed to be divorced, but I ain't.
Right.
He said he was giving her ideas for the skits, right? He was giving them ideas for the SNL skits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah. See, yeah, man. That life of Pi, that Pablo, that Ye life, man.
I mean, listen.
I mean, that's the type of shit that would drive you crazy, bro. Like you got people in your family's ear trying to break your shit up.
Yeah.
You know, and it's only because you're a celebrity. You know, if you was a regular motherfucker, they'd just be looking at you as a paycheck and a job. But because they got something to gain by being in the middle of some celebrity shit,
yeah,
you know, they doing extras.
Yeah, and you know, listen, I don't want to leave this out. He's talking about some other shit in there. You know, first you lost tribes. He's talking about some real, you know, really letting you
About
in.
that.
You know, he said it. He said, I think one of my favorite quotes is when he was like, I'm telling y'all what it is right here. Like he's like, I'm telling y'all what it is. And he was basically talking about Hebrews, lost tribes. And I don't know what you ascribe to, what you believe in. I'm curious to learn about everything, you know, before I really put myself in somewhere. But when you hear more and more people talk about certain things and you know, how we are controlled here, you know, I'm not conspiracy theory controlled, you know, but in that kind of way, it was very interesting to hear him talk about it, especially because, you know, he's been in rooms in some places with people, you know, that give him access to conversations and things.
Right.
So, it was, listen, there's a lot of meat to chew on that Kanye tip, you know. So I want to ask, favorite Kanye?
Hey, pause.
that part.
No, I'm playing, but go ahead. What you say?
No, I was gonna say favorite Kanye song. Just give me your favorite Kanye song. Let's wrap it up.
Power.
You killing us with this, man. Come on, a favorite gig.
Put you on the spot. Power. Okay, Otis got power.
Song, man. You an asshole, bro.
I mean, y'all already know this.
Straight up.
You know what? I got top 3: Power, Devil in a Blue Dress, or Devil in a New Dress, and the original Diamonds Are Forever. Whoever wrote those verses for him, man, he delivered them shits perfectly.
Yeah, you go with 3?
Man.
I mean, it can't be just one. I'm gonna say Addiction. Barry Bonds.
Oh.
2 Words.
Oh, damn it. Man.
You know what I mean? Come on.
Sure, Amar, you want me to go last?
Hey, go ahead. I'm thinking. He took one of mine.
So I'm gonna go with a Runaway. Got to be Runaway. That special place in my heart for that song. Spaceship. I'll let y'all figure out. But go listen. After listening to his interview, go back and listen to Spaceship right now. Y'all about to be like, oh, this nigga's been on it since day one. And oh man. You know, I'm gonna do something a little different. I was gonna try and find something from Graduation. Because it's got some tracks on it, but
you got Big Brother on there.
Oh man, damn.
Nah, man, that's the Dick Riders anthem right there. Like
You think?
I appreciate it, but nigga, that's like unauthorized autobiography of Rakim level of dick riding. Nigga, get off of Jay-Z's nuts, bro.
Good life.
Graduation, you got some good tracks though.
Graduation is a good album.
Man.
Yeah, it is.
Like the high on Graduation is really high, I think.
It was cool for the moment. That's one of my least favorites.
I'm gonna say No Mistakes. You know, I like to be a little different. No Mistakes off the Ye album. I like that a lot.
Okay.
Y'all hate me right now. I can't stand y'all. Don't look at me like that.
No. I remember liking a few tracks off that Ye album, but I'm trying to remember which one that was. God Don't Make No Mistakes or something like that.
Yeah, it's Believe It or Not.
Yeah. That shit is pretty nice.
Yeah, that's because for me that was like almost a throwback Ye, but like, yeah, those are my three.
So
TKO, you on the clock, baby.
Man.
Close out the show. Listen, subscribe, like. I'm gonna buy TKO a minute or two. Subscribe, like. It's the Potluck. We Know Hip Hop presents the Potluck. WKHH presents the Potluck. You can find us all on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. We're gonna keep pushing and going forward. TKO.
Hey, every time we ask a question, feel free to drop your answers in the comments. We're interested in what y'all got to say too.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we welcome everybody, man.
Hey, Mr. Workout Man, go ahead and sit up a little bit so cats can see your shirt. Because I thought I was watching I thought I saw a UFC fitness challenge. You buff motherfucker, get out of
here. Like this at the beginning. All right, baby.
Hey man. Okay,
flex your choices, nigga.
You know what, man? Flex my choices. You know what? I'm gonna go. My favorite album by Kanye is The College Dropout. So I'm gonna take a few off of there. So, but I'm gonna throw in Homecoming from Graduation.
Nice.
Well, I mean, some of you guys took my top three, so I'm just gonna throw some other ones out there. But Homecoming, like I said, I'm gonna throw that one because he brought like that whole like stadium sound to it. I thought that was dope.
That was a song about Chicago, right?
Yeah.
If you haven't heard the original, it's him in Common. It's a different beat. I had that off LimeWire before the album dropped. Check the original out. Oh no, him and John.
The joint with Jeezy too was on there too. God, man.
Yeah, I mean he got a lot, man. I mean it was hard for me to choose.
All right, Homecoming.
I would throw two words, but Lou already stole that one. So I'm gonna throw in Last Call. Nice. I like that song. That song is so dope. It's a long ass song, but it's it was a mayonnaise colored bands on I Drive Miracle Whips. That's dope. And then you know what? I'll go ahead.
I was just saying that was just such a creative way that storytelling shit at the end where he had rappers coming, where he had the people he was talking about coming in doing their voices as a part of the story that he was telling.
Mm-hmm.
Artistic as hell.
Yeah, it was. And you know what? I'm gonna throw another one, man, that I feel like it's one of his forgotten songs, but I like it because you got what's the name in the beginning? We Don't Care. Bernie Mac. You know, Kanye, you motherfucker. You know, it's talking and everything.
Nah, nigga, that was DeRay Davis.
Was it? No, you sure?
It came out recently though, right? Didn't that like just come out recently?
No, We Don't Care from his album.
DeRay was sounding like Bernie.
Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't
know that. I thought I could have swore it was Bernie Mac, man.
No, it was that means DeRay did his job.
Yeah. You know what? And that's one of my favorite Kanye songs. I know every single word to that song. I just like what he's talking about. It's a dope ass song, man. So I'm gonna go with those three.
Let me throw one more in the mix, man. Real Friends. If there's any Kanye song that speaks to my life, nigga, that's me right there.
Yeah.
Flaky motherfucker right here.
I like I like We Major too with him and Nas. Like,
Oh man.
Hell yeah.
you can't say variation. CP, this is why you get on my nerves, man.
Yeah, you really can't.
You can't say top 3 with Kanye. It's too many, man. Like I could have picked 3 off the Graduation. I could have picked 3 off Dropout. I could have picked. I mean, it goes on and on, man.
Ahmad, I definitely want to shout out College Dropout because when I was listening to it this morning, one, I listened to We Don't Care, and I was like, why did I love this song as much as I needed to? But two, the first person I thought about was actually you and your brother because we were hanging out tough.
Yeah, that it came out around the time we met. You know what I'm saying? It was big, man. Everybody was bumping that joint. I mean, it was it was like who's Kanye? But it was like came out, we like, oh man, it's dope.
Yeah, man.
All went from there. You know what I'm saying? So
definitely, man. That was when I had speakers blasting out my window, football court in the yard.
Yep, the wild parties, man.
Wild parties,
man.
Listen, I don't know if we're gonna edit this part out or not, but in the corner of our apartment, we mounted a TV, a little mini TV, and just kept it on porn 24/7. And we had an apartment you could see from across the way, so people were looking. We were on the 3rd floor, but it wasn't like huge. And they just saw a porn TV, and they'd hear me blasting College Dropout out the window of these big ass speakers. That movie Empire.
How does that work? Getting up early in the morning and it's like, it's like, dog. You get up early in the morning and it's like
cheeks clapping.
Like I'm not talking about morning sex. I'm like, dog, like a nigga. I'm talking when you first get up, you got to go take your morning piss. Like, what? Like,
some hard times right there, boy.
You know what I'm saying? You on that? It's early. You on your B pumper early.
Yeah.
You a wild nigga, man.
Hey, you gotta lean forward. Oh man, 45-degree angle.
Oh shit.
Oh man. Crazy.
Oh man, y'all are crazy, man. All right, man. Go ahead and close it out.
Cool. So look, always appreciate y'all coming out. Welcome.
Yes,
happy November. Happy Hip Hop Month, Hip Hop History Month, Hip Hop Future Month, as Kanye would say. We definitely want to, we're just happy that we had an interview from Kanye that we could go and talk about hip hop wise. Happy for Missy getting her Walk on the Star, T.I. buying the block, trying to give back to the community, Kanye and all the gems he's give us. And, I definitely appreciate y'all brothers. It may seem cheesy, but we do actually like to give the roses out to each other as well. We want to sign off, man. Hit subscribe, hit like, go on YouTube, find us. We know Hip Hop presents the Potluck. Anybody who supports us, man, ask us questions, answer the questions that we ask, man. Get at us. You might not like the answer, but guess what? That's how we spark these conversations, and that's what keeps us going in here. Shout out to RIP MF Doom. I see Lulu got him as a background in there.
Speaking of which, sorry. I know we got to do the shout outs, and I want to give a shout out to my homie Longevity. He just recently released an album with MF Doom. He was sitting on it for about a year or so. He was able to put that work in with him before MF Doom passed. And
wow.
Oh shit! I want to Street Strangers. That's the name of the project. It's Longevity, MF Doom, and Prince Poe. Check that shit out, man. So we were talking about the underground, the backpack style. You already know what you're getting when you get MF Doom, but my boy Longevity, he got that style too, man. That boy be flipping. So go ahead and look out for Street Strangers by MF Doom, Longevity, and Prince Poe.
Right on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out.
For sure.
Is it on Spotify?
It should be. I mean, if it's on Tidal, I'm pretty sure it's on Spotify.
Okay.
Yes.
Check it out. Right on.
Oh, for sure. Plain Grain Deco, shout out. And anybody else out there supporting.
Sure.
Shout out to doing the intros and everybody, man. Appreciate y'all, brothers.
Appreciate you too, bro. Y'all
Pleasure.
fellas enjoy your night.
Pleasure.
Everybody have a
Definitely,
good
guys.
week. Make this money. Stay positive.
Yes,
Be
sir.
blessed.
I'm gonna have an apple next time. Bump these days.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Get
Yeah, bro. Like,
yeah.
go target. Hey, go take that shit.